take one of us and say we all the same. You know what I'm saying? And we saying no, bro. That's not the truth. It doesn't. It's not one of us that makes all of us equal.
This is about accountability at this point. It's about accountability and responsibility. I think as black men, we can hold ourselves accountable for the behaviors of these men. Like, because for black men, my point is, for black men to be behaving this way, there's a black man problem. You dig what I'm saying? I'm saying there is a black man problem. Not there is a police problem, but there's a deeper problem with the black man, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And from a accountability standpoint, I believe we have some accountability in this situation. But from a responsibility standpoint, I don't think we're responsible. But I think we should all look to learn from this and understand where we are in society and grow from this. So that's kind of so with that being said, does a black man spoil the bunch? Is the question. And so let's start it like this, man. You know, we're back today. A lot of people have reached out to connect with me about our conversation, you know, and I've been excited to see as many people interested in connecting, man, because at the end of the day, we're not going to get anything done if we don't start communicating and working to figure this out. And that is the ultimate goal of me even being here, man, is just finding a solution. But we've decided to title, you and I together decided to title this conversation, Does a Black Man Spoil the Bunch? And that's the question. I mean, with this particular incident, really wanting to understand our role as the black man and having some accountability here, right? Because these were black men behaving this way. These were young men too, you know, and so I don't want to say that that the black man is lost, but there appears to be that, you know, it appears that we need some guidance. We definitely are lacking guidance. If not lost, we definitely still need some guidance. And it's, to me, it starts with us, like we ended our last conversation, is about how we feel about one another, you know, and we got to get to the root of being able to love ourselves, and then therefore loving one another. So I wanted to talk to you today about that and really just get your thoughts on that. Obviously, being an officer yourself, and I can attest that you're not really like any other police I've dealt with, and that's not just because you're my friend. So, but I just wanted to talk to you again, man, because obviously we got a great response the last time, and people want to know from your viewpoint, man, like your thoughts about this stuff. So talk to me.
Yeah, it's like you see it, man. It's like there's one black man spoiled a bunch, coming from the old fable. There's one bad apple spoiled a bunch, and I think we are viewed off of the actions of others. Like, for instance, in a traffic stop, there's no such thing as an ideal traffic stop. Their senses are heightened on that traffic stop when it's dealing with a black male. Why? It's because this is what we just said. One black male has spoiled it for all black males. No traffic stop is the same. No traffic stop is the same. When you get to that mindset, that'll cause you to get harmed or worse, killed. No traffic stop is the same. Every traffic stop is a different traffic stop. No matter, it may be the same violation, speeding, but the traffic stop itself is different. So with that being said, you can say, you jump to people and say, well, it's training issue. It's training issue. It is that to a sense, but it's a personnel issue. It's the individual issue.
Right.
We tapped on it earlier. Like it's like a professional. It's your abilities and what you're comfortable with. You 6'4", 200 plus pounds.
Hey man, don't be putting my information. Don't put my information out there, man. I'm in the gym.
Well, you a big guy. You a big guy. You a big guy. You a big guy. But when I stop you, I don't feel threatened by you. Why? Because I'm comfortable with my abilities. If stuff was to go south, I could handle you. The next
I think
guy
you just said you can whoop
like
me. I think I heard you just say you can whoop me. That's what I think I just heard. I don't know about that, but I'm gonna let you finish your story. But I don't know about that one, but I think that's what I just heard. But go ahead.
I can handle myself in a professional manner as a police officer if I came in contact with you. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So when you get on that traffic stop, opposed to another guy that's not comfortable in that situation, he might see you as a threat. So now he's at a point in this traffic stop, not because you gave him any reasons to feel threatened. He's probably had a situation once before, or he had seen a situation that you're quote unquote threat. And that's a lot of the problems when it comes to traffic stops with officers being black or white with perception. I give I've been a big victim of that. You know, I'm an officer. I'm a state trooper. You know what I'm saying? So, and I've been pulled over, man, and I let the situation play itself out. But I got stopped, man. Let me give you a quick story. I got stopped one time around my community, my neighborhood. I wasn't even a mile from home. Got stopped. Officer was in front of me, turned the blue lights on in front of me. We was at a red light, turning the blue lights on, signal for me to pull over. He pulled over. I didn't know he was talking to me. I thought he was talking to the car in front of us. So I went past and he got back behind me, pulled me over. I pulled over, walked up to the vehicle, said, "Hey man, you got your driver's license, insurance?" I said, "I do." He said, "You know the reason why I stopped you?" I said, "No, sir, I do not." He said, "I stopped you because your tag cover." Did you hear the beginning of the story?
He was in
front of me.
He was in front of you.
Yes, exactly. So me, I'm a trooper now. I'm an officer at the time. So I looked, I'm like, my tag, I'm thinking to myself, my tag cover. I said, man, I've been doing this a long time and I ain't that good. He didn't catch it. Matter of fact, I never gave him the driver's license because the driver's license was in my pocket. I gave him the insurance card because it was in my visor. Gave him the insurance card and he's like, you got any drugs, weapon, paraphernalia in this vehicle? I said, no, sir, I do not. I said, I don't do drugs. And as far as weapons, and he's like, so you don't have any drugs? But he didn't let me finish my statement. He says, you don't have any drugs or paraphernalia? I said, no, sir. He said, can I search? I said, sure, you're more than welcome to search. He said, okay, step out of the vehicle. Still hadn't got my license. I step out of the vehicle. He said, I'm gonna ask you one more time before I search this vehicle. You have any drugs, weapons, or paraphernalia in this vehicle? I said, sir, I told you, I don't do drugs, I don't drink. And as far as weapons, there's no longer any weapons in the vehicle. He said, no longer any weapons in the vehicle. I said, you asked me was any weapons in the vehicle. I'm an officer, so I carry off duty. So I stepped out.
I heard what you said. I heard what you said.
It's on my yeah, exactly. It says on my person. Man, he come out the holster, get up against the car, get up against the car. And I'm like, holy sh. So by now, another officer pulls up and gets out of the car. And he's telling me, giving me all these commands. And he's like, get your hands up. I'm like, man, my hands up high as far as they can go. So he asked me, no lie, no bull. He asked me, give me the weapon. Yes.
Let me kill you is what I heard.
So you know what? So I'm like, bro, no. I said, what you can do is look in my back left pocket and grab those credentials, and you'll see why I have this weapon on me. And the other officer did it. He looked and saw that I was a trooper, folded up and left. Now, this traffic stop turned into, man, why you didn't say nothing? Bro, we not even finna go down this road. I went directly to administration. I said that to say, I get where the people are coming from. And I also said, and I said that to say this, you see how I conducted myself at that traffic stop. Even though I knew I was all the way in the right, we can't have that argument on the side of the road because he shot me. Wouldn't have been nobody left to tell the story but him. You know what I'm saying?
That's the advice you've always given me. You tell me get home, man. That's the one thing you've always said to me.
That's my advice to everybody.
Is get home. is everybody else telling their children that? Is everybody else? And I'm not trying to compare. I'm not trying to juxtapose us, really. But in this instance, it seems necessary because it's like we're living with a sense of fear that others are not living with, because I have my son that I'm going to have to educate. He's not driving yet, but I'm going to have to educate him on how to carry himself in these situations, just like this situation with Tyree Nichols. I seen panic and fear in that boy's eyes, man. As a father looking at that young man on the ground, that's what I saw, panic and fear. And so we're not the professionals. We don't have the training. So in that moment, regardless of your prejudices, because we all do have prejudices, regardless of your prejudices, you have to see a human being. You have to see a human being. And too many times in this situation, we are the human being that's left dead. You know, and I say Black Americans, you know, we are the ones who are having to bury our young people, bury our women, bury our men. And we are dealing with the grief and the PTSD behind this, because I have to admit, man, like this event, this occurrence, it has made me sad, man, like having to think about the mental impact on my children. And you know, it saddens me, you know, and to be saddened by something like this, you wonder if anybody else feel the pain that we're going through as a people. And I just always find myself in that position with this, or we find ourselves in that position. We're always left alone with this grief, and then everybody else is going on with their lives. So it's just again, I've been emphasizing that it's just a huge challenge for me mentally, you know.
You asked the question at the beginning of your statement. You said, is everybody being taught this? But I've told you. And with that being said, I know everybody's not being taught this. So the answer to your question is, everybody being taught this? No, they're not. But just like in good areas, you don't have burglar bars and cameras everywhere. Because why? They don't have to be. Just because, not saying it is right or wrong for the bad area to have all this, they shouldn't have to have burglar bars. People shouldn't be taking and stealing and breaking in and doing it, committing crimes that they do, but they are. With that being said,
I've lived in multiple areas in Memphis. I live in the city now. I've lived out in the suburbs. And I can say honestly, in Memphis, they police different depending on where you live. If you live out in the suburbs, it's a no nonsense out there, man, from the speed limit to hanging out and all of that. It is no nonsense in the suburbs. And you're right, there aren't burglar bars and all of that stuff out there because it's not necessary, because they are really, really policing out there, man. In the city of Memphis, they're policing a little bit different. I mean, I think we saw on camera how they policing in Memphis. I hadn't seen that type of behavior in, let's say, a Germantown or a Collierville or even a Lakeland. So that doesn't happen like that over here. But in Memphis proper, these things are happening in the way that, like you see on cameras all over the country, man. You see issues with people dealing with police brutality, and it's a issue that just is not appearing to be letting up when it comes to us, is my point. Like, and if it's a personnel issue, we need to get better personnel, which I'm hearing. I don't know how you solve that problem. I don't know how you guys are going to get better quality of individuals to sign up for this. But I hear you saying that's part of the challenge. You're not getting the right resources in to get the job done. But that's not the people's problem. That's for people that are a lot smarter than us when it comes to law enforcement to solve. But it's still a problem that they have to solve, right?
It's a simple solution to that problem. Pay.
Fair enough.
Pay.
Fair enough.
It's simple. It's simple.
Fair enough.
Hey, you pay more, you're gonna get better quality personnel. And also to answer what you were saying, you was like, it's a different type of policing. It is, brother. It's a different type of policing in every, like I said, every traffic stop. It's the individual. You said, how do we get past this? Another example. You remember back here when I first got on the force almost 20 years ago. You remember I told you how to conduct yourself at a traffic stop. I told you what, pull all the way over, turn on all your lights, let down all your windows, have your stuff in your hand ready, and put your hands outside the window with your stuff in it. When the officer comes up to the vehicle, you don't say, what you stop me for? The first thing you ask is, how you doing today, officer? At that point, man, you put him at ease. Now that traffic stop goes completely different than it would have been at a man such as your statue and getting up there, man, what you stop me for? I wasn't doing nothing. It's here. Now it's probably going to go up another notch. But it's how you conduct yourself. We got to educate everybody.
I guess it's going back to my point, Kool-Aid. My white counterparts are not having this same conversation with their children.
They don't have to have it because they're not black. We are black.
Right.
You got to have it. So you can say what you want to say. Just like you ain't got to, you don't have to do what I tell you to do. It'll make your life a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
Life a whole lot easier, bro. And I ain't saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right.
Right.
We're not going for what's right now. What I tell you, I want you to go home at the end of that traffic stop.
That's what leads to the deeper issue. And I'm glad you are honest about this, right? I'm glad you feel comfortable enough to be honest about it. We're out here in a survival mode. And I think that's the thing that wears on us, right? That's the thing that induces the stress, is when that's always got to be in the back of your mind, man. You know what I'm saying, man? That's the pressure when, like, even from a physical standpoint, like, you know, if I touch on my medical a little bit, right? And talking to my doctors during my annual, they tell me it's things that can be stressing me that I'm not even aware of. You know, there are things that can be, you know, in the recesses of my mind that can be causing physical issues to me. I'm saying to you that this burden of policing in this country is one of those stressors for the black man. And we're just discussing it, right? Like, I get the reality is at the end of the day, we want to get home, but we're just talking about the pressures, man. It's just again, it's the pressures of being in this society that these things are there, whether we're talking about them or not, man. And it can lead to a traffic stop, man, could lead to a really, really bad day for a person. Even if you get out of it okay, you made it home. But it's just the anxiety that you're going through, even trying to obey every rule, even trying to be responsible in that situation. It still doesn't guarantee you're going to get out of it okay, is the concern that I have, man. And we have to find a way to demand respect, like demand equality. Like, and I'm saying as a black man, back to what we were saying when we last spoke, I'm saying as black men, Kool-Aid, we have to figure out how, even within the laws, right? Because laws can be changed. I mean, there's a voting process behind all of this. But we have to figure out, okay, what can we do politically? What can we do economically to make sure issues like this are being tampered down? Because this is it's a lot of additional stress on your life, brother. I have to admit that. I mean, I'm good and want to get home, but brother, it's stressful to have that disposition as I walk the world, man, or walk the planet, man, especially in this country.
And you 100% correct with that, brother. But that's what you made a statement, man. What has come easy for the black man? So what makes this any different?
Boy, you said something then, boy.
What has come easy for us?
Yeah.
We gotta be 10 times times better.
We're gonna have to do a whole, that's another show. Hey, you know what? That's the title of our next.
So, bro, and I say this not for me to put out there and be the guy that said, I sympathize with you. No, I feel like it's my job, my duty to get you prepared. And I said all that to say this, man. Life itself is stressful, and we can't fall to that as a crutch as the black male. What's been easy for us? This is just another mountain for us to climb. We got to start holding each other accountable. And we said it the other day. I know you would never let me put myself in a compromising position. Why? because that's who we are. We hold each other accountable.
Right.
We hold each other accountable. That's what we got to start doing as black males. To when another black man tries to hold you accountable for your actions, he's not fronting on you. He's not tripping on you. He's not trying to punk you. He's holding you accountable. And when you
each one teach one, man.
I hear when you know better, you do better.
Yeah, those that know better at this point, man, it's time to stand up and be heard. It's time to get more active. Those of you like yourself that are constantly active, you got to remain active, man, and be vigilant, man, and protect ourselves and to protect our young, man, because there is a battle going on out here, man, and the price is your life, man. And I think it's all that we can do to make sure that we're being what we need to be for these new generation of young black people, man. And I'm here for it, man. I'm here to protect mine. I'm here to shine a light. I'm here to be a voice where I can be. But really more importantly, man, I'm here to just let people know they're not alone when it comes to, you know, having maybe anxiety is the right word to describe what it's like at this moment in time, especially if you're a man with children and everything. So yeah, man, I appreciate you making the time. I know you got to get about your day. I want to get into kind of who you are at some point, man. Let's get into some of the details about some of the amazing things you got going on with your life, but we'll make time to discuss that stuff, man. But I appreciate your time as always, brother. Thank you, man. You be safe out there. I don't know if you're in the sky today, but if you're in the sky today, man, be safe, brother.
I got you. And man, I just want to say to the people viewing this, man, look, don't keep this to yourself, man. Get it out. Get it out there. We got to educate each other. We gotta communicate with each other. And this is a form of communication, man. It's social media, but social media is a powerful platform. And you can get a lot out there with this. And the only thing I'm trying to do is give it to my people.
Yeah. Well, listen, brother. Hey, man, I appreciate your time today, man. As always, man. We definitely gonna need to connect soon, man. I hope we got information out that's useful to the people. And again, I appreciate the feedback from everybody that's been reaching out to help me do what we're doing here, man. And again, I can't thank you enough, brother, for making time, man. I appreciate
you. Got you. We good, bro. We good, man. I appreciate you, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I love you, man.
Man, love you too, man. All right.